All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So I wanted to talk about this pro wrestler slash bodybuilder that actually claims in his pro wrestling character to be a professional bodybuilder, but he's not in real life. But he has competed in several bodybuilding shows. So I wanted to show you guys some photos that I found of him. You can kind of really see his transition from a natural athlete to a super enhanced athlete throughout his bodybuilding shows. In his first couple shows, it says he weighs under 200 pounds at 6 foot tall. So there's a very good possibility that he might be natural in those first couple shows. Then as those shows progress, eventually he's 265 is what he claims to be on stage at 6 foot tall. So we'll go through those photos here in a second. So here's the first photo. I believe this was it was some small show in California, and I believe it was a natural show. So again, he's under 200 pounds at 6 foot tall in these photos. I think it was called like the Northern California or something like that. But he looks pretty damn good still. Whether he's natural or not, he still looks pretty good. But as you can tell, he's very flat in these photos compared to that first photo that I showed you. So he's definitely on a lot less drugs, if he's on any drugs at all. So these were all taken around the same time period in 2013. Now these next photos were taken about a year later. I believe this competition was in 2014 or 2015. But you can tell there's some significant size difference in these photos and the photos that I showed you before. He's significantly bigger, fuller, and rounder in these photos. Now, these photos were taken more recently. I believe these were 2016 or 2017, and he is much bigger in these photos. That's obviously him on the far right, and he claims to be weighing 265 pounds on stage in these photos. But like I said, clearly a lot heavier in these photos, actually showing some, real potential as a bodybuilder in these photos. He actually looks pretty damn good in my opinion. Although, I guess anyone would probably look pretty good in a local lineup when you're 265 pounds on stage. But this guy was just an absolute freak, man. So I wanted to make a video about him because in terms of wrestling physiques, there's a couple wrestlers, there's a handful of wrestlers that have actually competed in bodybuilding and looked good. And I've made videos about a couple of those wrestlers, including the Ultimate Warrior, John Cena. And this was a guy who, he wrestled briefly for the WWE, but they ended up releasing him very quickly. I believe he was with them for under a year, but he's wrestled for multiple promotions, including TNA, Lucha Underground, some Spanish wrestling place that I've never heard of, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, various different small little promotions on the independent circuit in 2009. WWE, that was 2008 through 2009, and his early career was largely with these little local Deep South wrestling type of promotions, so a bunch of little local promotions. But again, this guy's name is Brian Cage, 6 foot tall, 265, and right now he's just wrestling on the independent circuit and a bunch of smaller promotions. But this guy definitely had a freaky physique. He has some good size to him. I thought he was worthy of a video because, we don't have to just look at the IFBB for people with good physiques, man. There's people with great physiques out there that don't compete on the professional level. I mean, this guy's off-season physique in the ring looks better than a lot of people. Just most gym rats don't have this physique. So that's kind of the point that I'm getting at with some of these videos is we don't have to look at the Olympia stage to find somebody with an amazing physique. We can look outside of professional bodybuilding and find people with these amazing physiques that are worthy of making videos about, worthy of, being motivation for us. So I just wanted to make a video about this guy, Brian Cage, pro wrestler, bodybuilder. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.